41 million members of Generation Z are eligible to vote this year. So will they? And if they do, who for?
Well, again, thank you for having me. I will be glad to be casting my vote for Kamala Harris on the 5th of November, my birthday. It'll be the first president that I get to vote for. I'll be glad to cast my vote for Kamala Harris because I think that she is a person who believes that climate change is real and that it needs to be tackled. I support her on reproductive rights, on putting students first. I think on the economy, making sure that we have an economy that works for the working class. And I look forward to seeing her succeed in her 4 years.
Okay. Oh, that's gonna hurt! Okay, I mean, at this point, we could make this a weekly segment. Fox voter interview goes haywire. Enjoy. Now, you'd think the producers at the Murdoch Network would have learned their lesson last week as they invited on prospective voters from Georgia, which didn't go to plan.
Yes, for me, I am not, to be clear, a radical left liberal. So I am very big on looking at all sides of the aisle, looking at different networks. I watch Fox News clips, I watch MSNBC clips, and I watch everything in between. So as far as getting information, I'm someone who's very big on getting my information from all sides and all sources to make the most informed decision. I watch Trump rallies, I watch Harris rallies. And what I see is that one side is talking more about things that will impact me, and one side is not talking about those things. And that's why I've made the decision to vote for Kamala Harris in this election.
But apparently not, I guess. Maybe they're glutton for punishment, or maybe it's a strategy to avoid another $800 million post-election payout by seemingly sourcing opinions from across the political spectrum. This time opting to invite prospective Gen Z voters onto the network to share their opinion on the upcoming election. And again, it didn't exactly go to plan.
Is Gen Z in the house? Who's voting for their first time in the first election? All right. Now, here's the thing I love about you young leaders. You know, you are rightly impatient for change. You are rightly impatient. You who have only known the climate crisis, you are leaders in what we need to do to protect our planet. You who grew up with active shooter drills, you know what we have to do to fight for safety in our schools.
Well, again, thank you for having me. I will be glad to be casting my vote for Kamala Harris on the 5th of November, my birthday. It'll be the first president that I get to vote for. I'll be glad to cast my vote for Kamala Harris because I think that she is a person who believes that climate change is real and that it needs to be tackled. I support her on reproductive rights, on putting students first. I think on the economy, making sure that we have an economy that works for the working class. And I look forward to seeing her succeed in her 4 years.
Now, I know what you're thinking, right? How can it be that Fox producers, the type to assemble panels discussing how Gen Z lack communication skills and motivation in the workplace, would be so out of touch with this subset of the American electorate that they'd think it's a good idea to have them on?
And 87% said they even accepted a job offer only to not show up for their first day of work. It should be noted this study is from the UK, so none of the jobs were for dentists. Cheap shot. The kids claim that bailing helps them feel in control of their careers. No surprise, their flaky flights of fancy have left businesses struggling to hire people. Plus, without a job to tie them down, they could spend their days doing what they do best, nothing. Which raises an interesting question. How do you have a career if you constantly blow off job interviews?
Unless they, of course, bought into the BS that Trump is making ground with Gen Z voters by sourcing insight from his son Barron. I know, kids, Trump really knows how to get your vote by asking advice from Silver Spoon Jr.
But that might be a lie. Here's what I'm interested in. Barron Trump. He's 18. He's not a kid. He's very young. He's an adult. What's his future, and what is his future if Donald Trump wins?
Let me tell you a story about Donald Trump. And it goes back to the 1970s, 1980s. He was trying to buy a restaurant in Manhattan out of bankruptcy. He went to sort of kick the tires when it was closed, bumped into a couple of busboys or folks who worked in the kitchen. And he asked those people, the lowest people in the totem pole, why did this restaurant go bust? And he changed exactly what they said he should change, and it was a huge success. And I think that was a formative sort of experience for him. He still does it. I've seen him. We're at Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan. He's asking an 18-year-old enlisted man, what do you think we should be doing? Why do you think we're here? How do you feel about this, et cetera, et cetera. He's always empowered the youngest, the bottom up, weakest, he's always listened to everybody in the totem pole. He's going to listen to Barron. He's going to reach out to his 18-year-old kid and say, what do 18-year-old kids think about? Give him credit. He's not 18 years old anymore. Trump is not. So asking an 18-year-old how 18-year-olds think is probably not the stupidest thing he's ever done.
Now, the reality is, anyone not cocooned off from reality could have seen this coming a mile off. Gen Z and Trump meshed together like this guy and the Bronx. Yeah, they can't stand Trump. Half of Gen Z voters already said that they'll vote for Vice President Harris in November, while 1/3 say they'll vote for former President Donald Trump. This is according to a new survey of registered voters under 30.
The youth vote.
I know.
They can really make a difference. There's so many of them. Are they voting in large numbers? Are they planning to at least?
They are planning to. According to this, 58% said that they are very likely to show up to vote. Many of them actually already said that they have. Who are they going to vote for is sort of a complicated question. So we have this big head-to-head number for you, which is 50% say that they support Harris, and then a third, 33%, say they support Trump. But here's where it gets interesting. And you were actually just talking with Vaughn about this a little bit ago. It's the gender divide. So when you talk about young women, they are supporting Harris by a 33-point margin. So big lead there.
Harris is backed by 60% of young voters who say they're almost certain that they will cast a ballot. Harris receives robust support, in particular from college graduates, besting Trump by 26 points among this group. And here's the thing, while these figures pull in line with the 60% of 18 to 29-year-olds won by Joe Biden in 2020 against Trump, according to NBC News exit poll results, it's starkly different than Biden's results in some 2024 polls before he, of course, dropped out the race. And the new survey, which polled 2,600 respondents online, indicates some major reasons why. A total of 70% of Gen Z voters said that they would support setting a maximum age limit for candidates to be eligible to run for president, while 27% said they would oppose such a limit. Now, among those who said they support an age limit for president, 54% said the age limit should be under 65 years old, which of course doesn't bode well for the 78-year-old confusing Nancy Pelosi with Nikki Haley, George and Jeb Bush, and Alaska with Afghanistan.
Report the crowd on January 6th. You know, Nikki Haley, you know, did you know they destroyed all of the information, all of the evidence, everything, deleted and destroyed all of it, because of lots of things. Like Nikki Haley is in charge of security. We offered her 10,000 people. We've endorsed Dr. Oz. We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel, and he's doing great. You know what was interesting? Joe Biden won against Barack Hussein Obama. Has anyone ever heard of him? The worst president in the history of our country will be a fading nightmare. He'll be a fading, I have fading memory.
For sure, keep inviting the kids on. I'm sure it will help Trump's campaign.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the Midas Touch newsletter at MidasTouch.com/newsletter.